guys, I have had another crazy morning. I'm so glad you're joining me. Today we are wrapping up our 3-part workshop series on making, well, I think what I called it was saving and even making money in the garden. Oh my goodness, this is how it's been this morning. Hush. I'll spare you the details of what's happened this morning, but I, needless to say, was not able to do all the things I wanted to do to prepare for this. I was going to have some show and tell. I think I told you last workshop that we were going to actually do one of these 2 things I'm going to tell you about. We were going to do it together in the workshop today, but I didn't have time to pull any of that together because we had a septic truck in our front yard. I'll spare you the details. Suffice it to say, things are okay for now, not good for the long haul, but that's okay. Unrelated to what we're talking about today. So let's do a quick recap. If you have missed the first couple workshops, please, please, please comment the word seed when this live is over, and I will send you all the resources, the links, the videos, everything. And even if you have caught those and for some reason haven't asked for the resources, please comment the word seed. I will send you all the stuff we've been talking about. The first couple workshops, we talked about the types of seeds that you can purchase and how to know the difference, what the difference is. And we talked about a lot of questions to ask of your seed company. Pretty simple questions that they should be transparent and be able to answer. We talked about choosing what to grow, and we did some seed starting, a little bit of tips, but mainly I talked in the second workshop about how I have figured out how to make money while growing my own seedlings and how simple it is to do it and how it has more than paid for all of my garden needs for the year, as well as actually making a little profit. And I even broke down for you how it could be a few $1,000s worth of profit if I chose and what that would look like. I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, and I also shared with you all the seeds that I purchased. By the way, I've purchased more, guys. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll do another series of workshops just about this. Let me know if you're interested. I'm sitting around, I don't know, 3 or 4 nights ago, looking at all my seeds and thinking about another area that doesn't currently have a garden, and thinking about, well, you know what? I'll make the long story short. I'm growing another garden. This one is going to be, I'm not even sure what I should call it, but it's kind of a medicinal drink garden, which sounds kind of weird. I need a better name for it. I need a catchy little name so I can say I'm going to the plant garden and it sounds quaint. If I tell Bill I'm heading out to the medicinal drink garden, he'll be like, you're weirder than I thought. A lot of you are jumping on, by the way. Hello. Good to see you guys. And Bobby Jeans and Diane, you commented seeds. Please come back and comment that after the live is published. I'm glad you're here live because I can actually see you guys. We can chat. But unfortunately, once I publish this, any comments that we have here, I won't be able to see. So please come back and do that, Diane. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Joanna, probably. Copper County. So many guys. Hello, everyone. Okay, let me know if you have questions. Let me know how many years you've been gardening. Okay, so that's our recap. Today, I'm sharing with you 2 things that are going to up-level your garden. They seem so simple. And I mean, okay, this is how life is, right? I mean, I have a whole podcast about this very topic, that simple doesn't necessarily mean easy. In the sense of these 2 things, they're both really easy, but it's not like you do these 2 things, that's all you do, and your garden's going to be perfect, you're not going to have any problems. No, especially if you're gardening organically, you know, it's a whole lot of little simple things, right? So that's where the hard part comes in. It's just a whole lot of things like this, but these 2 things are big game changers. I've seen the game changer in my garden because of these things, and I think you're gonna love them because they're totally free. I'm sorry that I didn't have time, thanks to our septic problem, to pull together what I wanted to actually show you these things. But they're simple enough that I think you'll understand very simply. I mean, I know you'll understand. The first thing, the free thing that you might have in a cabinet right now is a chipped pottery bowl or mug. Anybody have such a thing? Let me know. Specifically, 45 years. Wow. Your name is Lynn May, it looks like. That's exciting. You should be leading this workshop. I've only been, well, I mean, I guess I've been gardening, now that I think about it. It depends on what you call gardening. If you count when I was playing in the dirt with my dad, I've been gardening 53 years, I guess. But that's exciting. It's good to have you here. Is it ballot in the, why do I have such trouble? Ballot in the barn. Oh, ballet in the barn. Ballet in the barn says, yes, I do. I'm not sure what you're answering. I'm not sure what I asked. Johanna says, been gardening 4 to 5 years. Exciting. Moved to a new location this past year, trying to figure out whether I should create above ground boxes or keep working on gardening plot my in-laws have and work in the soil. You know, that's an ongoing age-old question, and you'll get a different answer from different gardeners who prefer different ways. I've never gardened in above the ground boxes, so I'll tell you right now, I can't really compare them except for what I've been told and what I've seen. I personally, because of the rocks in our area, I have thought many times, you know, I should try an above the ground box, because some things I have a lot of difficulty with, the root plants like potatoes, because of all the rocks in our soil. So if I had a raised bed that I could control the soil and there were no rocks, there would definitely be advantages to that. On the other hand, I personally have always just gardened in the dirt, and I kind of love that. And there's things about the raised beds I don't like tilling it wouldn't be fun, and weeding it could be good, depends on the height of it. I don't know, reaching into the middle of it, I think would be a little awkward. So anybody who's on right now who loves raised beds, give us your reasons that you love it to help out ballet in the barn. Okay. If you have, back to our pottery, if you have a broken bowl or mug, hold on to it. I love when I realized this was something I wanted to do in my garden, because unfortunately it's pretty often that we have chipped pottery, and if it's chipped correctly and with a big enough chip, like a broken piece out of it, it works beautifully for, drumroll please, a frog or toad house. You can spend $100 or more for really cool looking frog or toad houses that potters have made to look really cute. Or you can use your broken pieces for this very purpose. What I was going to get to show you, but it's under the barn and I didn't get out there to do it. I had a chipped plate a few years ago that was about yay big, and it had a big old chip out of it. It was a red plate, so the chip, I knew I'd never use it because it was a big white chip out of the edge. And I right away went, okay, I'm going to use this in the garden somehow. I already had actually a bowl similar to this one that was broken. I dropped it and literally a whole piece cracked out of it. So it was like a perfect little hole for a toad. I turned that upside down. It has water in it right now. On my plate, and I propped it up a little bit with some rocks, and I had a wonderful door for my frog or toad and a plate that had a dent in it. You know how plates are often just made that way, that they're lower in the center, where I could fill it with water whenever I was in the garden. And that attracted the sweetest toad that year. He was there all summer long. And by the way, before I go any further, I should explain, because you're probably like, why do I want toads in my garden? I'll tell you why. A lot of the things that they eat are the very things that you want nowhere near the food that you're growing. They love caterpillars, they love cutworms, they love grasshoppers, they love grubs and slugs And my personal nemesis, the squash beetle. Toads will eat all of those things. So the more toads or frogs that you can have in your garden that hang out there and like being there, the less you're going to have of all those nasty pests. And if you're organic gardening, you want every little bit of help you can get rid of these pests. So you're not walking around and picking your squash bugs off one by one, which you're probably going to have to do that too. But the frog and toad helps a lot. So other ways to attract them other than giving them a cute little pottery home, avoid chemical treatments in your garden. They don't like that. They don't like the taste of it, and they're not going to hang out if there are chemicals sprayed around. Give them covered shaded areas like I was just talking about. You can buy the super cute ones for sure, or just take any, even if your bowl doesn't really have a crack that's like a wonderful door for a toad, you can prop it up. Take a bowl that you don't like anymore or you're not using and just find some rocks, line them up around it and prop it up so that it's always upright like that. And you're giving the toad some nice shade. If you can, put this in a shaded area as well to keep it cool, because of course if this is right in the direct sun all day, it's going to be a really hot spot and the toad is not going to want to go in there because he would die of heat exhaustion. So find a shaded spot if you can, or give them a shaded spot. Keep leaf cover. I, every spring, am so eager to get the leaves out of the garden and get a fresh start, but I intentionally, along the fence line in certain areas, make sure I leave some leaves. And sure enough, it is always the spot that the frogs and toads come hopping out of when I'm in the garden. So leave some leaves. And like I mentioned with my plate, if you can, try and give them a little spot of water. And it's not too hard. If you're in the garden watering, just give a little bit of water to their dish or their bowl for the frogs. Even better, if you have some sort of a pond, you could really pamper them and have a little pond area if you have a large garden. So all of those things will get them there, and they will eat all of your main nemesis in your garden. So attract the frogs and toads. That's number one. Let's see what other comments I have. Pam is definitely going to try this. Good, good. And so, oh, Pam said that twice. Okay. Hi, Souza. Hi, Mama Corv. Mrs. Mama Michael. Hi, guys. Diane says we're moving this year, so I'm not sure what to do. I love my raised beds. Yeah, I tell you, that would be the hardest part of moving for me, having to reestablish a garden. Okay, the second thing, and I really wanted to show this to you. Maybe we'll do another live and we'll just do this together. Let me know if you're interested in that. Banana peels. If you hold on to some banana peels and, you know, they get black and yucky, that's when they're perfect. Put them in a jar and make yourself some compost tea. Your plants will love all the nutrients that have absorbed into this water that you're then feeding your plants. It's really simple. Get a wide mouth jar, put in multiple old banana peels. You can also just, as you're eating your banana, stick it in the jar and let it sit there for a few days until you have a few in there. I like to get a rock just out of the yard this is why I use a wide mouth jar, put the rock down in there to hold the banana peels on the bottom, because the next step is to fill it with water, just tap water. And otherwise the banana peels rise to the top, and I just like them to be down underneath so all the nutrients are getting into the water and it's not floating on top. Put a lid on it and let it sit there for at least a couple days. I'll let it sit there for a week or two, and you'll notice the vibrant brown burgundy-ish color that your water turns. It's amazing, all the nutrients in that banana peel. And then if you dilute that water, 5 parts water to 1 part compost tea, and go water your plants. Use it on your seedlings, take it out to the garden, all those wonderful nutrients. There's no reason to buy fertilizer if you can make your own so easily. So those are the 2 things that I wanted to share with you that are totally free, everyone has on hand, that make a difference. Let me see, let me look at my notes if I had any other thoughts. Oh yeah, there was something else I promised you. I'm glad I looked at my notes. Really quickly, we talked about, I said I would tell you how to decide because our last workshop was all about growing seedlings. And I said I would tell you how to decide when you're planting your seeds in the spring, do I need to plant them indoors to give them a head start, or should I just wait and put them in the garden? What was that word I just said? I guess that was a combination of ground and garden, I think. Should you wait and plant them directly in the dirt? Mainly, it's actually pretty simple. Mainly, you want to know how long it takes for this plant to reach maturity, and you want to know your growing season where you live, and that will tell you, is this plant going to reach maturity if I just plant the seed in the ground? A lot of things where I live, the answer is going to be no, because my growing season is very short. So I start more things indoors than my wonderful southern friends. I watch them online and I get jealous, the things that they don't have to start indoors. Because of my short growing season, I even go one step further, and things that do have a long enough time to mature that I can plant them in my spring garden, I still start them indoors, because that way I'm going to actually have more food to harvest. Things like broccoli. Broccoli takes quite a while to mature, and even though I'd have my food, I'd rather have it sooner, because we love broccoli, and it's a plant that you can harvest from. I mean, pretty much every 4 to 5 days, it's ready to harvest some more. All summer, fall, I should say all fall long. That's hard to say, all fall long. Until a good frost. In fact, they still produce after the frost, but I will pick broccoli still on Thanksgiving when there's snow on the ground here. But I'd rather have it sooner, because it's going to keep producing through all that time, even if I have it sooner too. But I had so much trouble. I should have brought my broccoli seed to show you. So much trouble. I was never able to successfully grow it indoors. I actually had given up, and for a few years didn't even try. I don't know why broccoli is so difficult. Anyone else have trouble with that? It gets very leggy, even though I do all the right things, and it just doesn't get stocky and mature. And it was always a waste of my time and space, until I discovered the seeds that I used last year, Territorial Seeds. They're red. It's called red. No, I'm not sure what it's called. It's a purple broccoli. This stuff's amazing. I'm so excited about growing it a second year now. In fact, I should have started off telling you guys this. When you comment seed, I'm going to also send you all the details about Territorial Seed. If you use my special code, you can save big. It's an evergreen code, meaning you can use it today to order some seeds. And if you forgot and want to order some more next month, you can use the code again and still keep on saving. So I'm going to send you all that. I will tell you, you can go to Territorial Seed, is it seed or seeds.com/simple, SIMPLE. My podcast is simple, doesn't mean easy, so they wanted to give me a code called simple. And once you get there, that landing page will give you the code to use for savings, and you can go from there and go shop for the best seeds. I seriously am so impressed with this company. I explained that last workshop, I think, why this company is different. Okay, so the main thing is, how long does it take to mature to decide if you need to start it indoors? Also, is it sensitive to cold weather? A lot of things, like a tomato plant, if I tried to plant that outdoors in March, it's not going to grow, I guarantee you. I wouldn't be able to, the other thing is I wouldn't be able to plant it in March because my ground is frozen solid still in March. But if it's sensitive to cold weather, start it indoors, let it get comfortable and grow in a warmer environment before you transplant it outdoors. If it has a delicate root system, you should start it indoors. So the things that I will start indoors are primarily tomatoes. I grew 92 tomato plants last year, and I want more this year because I love the variety. So I love tomatoes. I love dehydrating them and making tomato sauce, pizza sauce. So tomatoes are my primary thing, but also peppers. I grow a lot of peppers, and I start broccoli indoors. But then there's other things that I like to start indoors, like lettuce even I'll try sometimes putting indoors, and onions, because I just like being able to get them out in the garden when it's time. They're ready to go in the garden. I don't have to wait another 4 weeks to even see them sprout if I planted them in the ground. Okay, is that everything? That's everything on my list. So Let me go back and see if there's any other questions. Hi, Judy. Hi, Pam. Lee says, all new to this and so excited to start growing my own produce for my family. It's amazing. It's life-changing. It is exhilarating. It's also very difficult. I won't lie. There are problems, there are bugs, there's drought, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it, Lee. So be prepared for wonderfulness. Diane says, we're moving this year. Oh, I already read that, sorry. Lynn says that's an interesting idea. Okay. Hi, Cheryl. Pam says definitely. I already read that. Why am I reading these out of order? Johanna says, do you have advice for getting compost materials? I have no grass, no trees. How to get non-treated grass clippings? Yeah, that's not something I have to worry about because I have so much. My compost is always overrun. But I'm guessing if you found, like, of course, it depends on where you live. If you have any farmers who have fields that they are not haying, but you could get some grass from it, or maybe just your neighbors' garden clippings. Like if you know them personally, you know they don't treat their lawn, and you could ask them, hey, the next time you're mowing, could I come over and grab your bags as you're dumping them or something? Yeah, that's a tough one. McLean said she missed the compost tea tip. Don't worry, I'll send you the replay. Make sure you comment the word seed as soon as I post this video when it's no longer live. McLean, are you buying all your seeds from the new company? I think there was something, chicory. That's what it was, that they do not carry. So there's some things that that's the only thing so far that I did get from my other favorite company. I do have actually 2 companies I love. But this Territorial Seeds, it's blowing me away, the quality of the things that I planted last year. So this year, everything they have, everything I want that they have, and so far it's been everything except for chicory, I'm getting from them. Plus, there's the discount code. I'm taking advantage of it too. My broccoli didn't get stocky and also got covered in aphids. Oh, I'm so sorry, Johanna. Aphids are so bad. Get some frogs and toads. Frogs and toads love eating aphids. TJC says, do they ship to Canada? That's a great question. Nobody's asked me that yet, and I haven't checked. Definitely come at Seeds and go take a look and find out. Let me know what you find out. I hope they do. Oh, Diane answered it. Yes, they ship to Canada under 8 ounces. Well, sweet. Thank you for letting us know that. Yay. That makes me happy. TJC said, thank you. TJC, do you have planting plans, suggestions, what to plant with what? Oh, that's a good one. I actually don't. Every year I think about writing about companion planting and crop rotation. And I honestly can't remember if I've written about it. I've been writing for 10 years now over on SolelyRested.com. I don't know if I have. I feel silly not being able to answer that question because I think about it every year. Because it is a big challenge for a lot of people I know. So if I haven't, you've inspired me that I really should this year. But did I finish asking you guys the question? If I should do another series of lives about my new garden I'm planning, because I'm really excited about it. The things that I ordered that I'm going to be using, hold on to your seats, guys, to make my own Coke. I'm going to be growing, I think it's 7 out of the 10 things that I use to put in my syrup to make my own Coke. That gets me excited. The 3 that I'm not growing, I literally can't grow. Like I can't grow vanilla beans. I can't grow vinegar. I could make my own vinegar. I could definitely make my own vinegar. Do I put vinegar in that? I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the recipe, but I got so excited. And then I realized, wait, I want to grow my own tea things as well. So I'm planting things I want to use to make tea blends. And I'm planting a few things just because they're so medicinal and I love putting them in a lot of my drinks. So I'm excited about those plans. McLean says she's getting that popcorn for sure. Oh, so I showed popcorn one of the workshops. Love it. Love it. My husband didn't seem excited because it's a big space taker. That's true. It is. And that's a hard part about it. But I will tell you, you can plant it really close. For that very reason, I did really plant my corn close. It's kind of hard to get in and out to pick it and a little hard to water it sometimes, but you're able to fit more in a small area that way. Okay. Yes, rotating her garlic crop, TJC says, makes a big difference for sure, because it's getting, certain plants will strip the soil of the nutrients it needs, and different plants need different nutrients. So if you leave your green beans in the exact same spot every single year, they're going to take all the nutrients that green beans need from that soil. And then 4 years down the road, you're going to be like, why are my beans not growing? Well, because the nutrients they need don't exist in that dirt anymore. But if you rotate it correctly, you're planting plants there that are reinvesting in the soil and giving it back those nutrients that the beans just took away. And 3 years later, when the beans come back to that space, the soil has been regenerated and it's ready to feed those beans again. So companion planting is different, but crop rotation is so important for that. And companion planting is important because if you plant things beside each other that take what the other one needs, then there's a struggle for survival. So it's all good stuff to know. Okay. Joanna says, yes, the blog is great. Oh, good. I'm so glad you enjoy what you're finding there. Okay, that's it, guys. Leave the word seed. I will send you the information from all the previous workshops as well. And I will make sure you get that code for Territorial Seed. Let me know what you guys are buying this year. Seriously, hit the reply when you get the email from me and let me know what you bought, because I'm always looking out for ideas and inspiration of something else that I might want to get. So this was fun. Thanks for joining me, guys.